Hey guys, so we're going to go over chapter 5, which is the power plays. So I want you to think about this before we start. What are power plays? How can we take advantage of them? What are the different types of power plays? Power plays are a big factor for us and other teams to take advantage in a game because it leads to eventually a win, or it can make a huge difference in the game. So for an example, if we're tied and we get a power play, we score on it, we lead, and that could lead us to a big victory when we need it. If we're losing, if we get a couple power plays, we can catch up and get the score tied, and eventually we'll battle our butts off to win the game. So what is a power play? So a power play is a man advantage the offensive team gets to increase scoring chances. Penalties can result from tripping, hooking, slashing, unsportsmanlike conduct, etc. So a power play. So I'll make this in an easier way to say it. So we get a power play when the other team, our opponents, take a penalty. So it could be a tripping, a hook, a slash, a unsportsmanlike, etc. So we would get a power play from that. They would be in the penalty box for 2 minutes, and we would get an advantage for that. We would get that power play. And the types of power plays that in the power play system, it's a 5-on-4. So we have five players. They have 4 killing. Another one is a 5-on-3, which is 5 us on a power play and 3 of them killing. That's how it results in 2 penalties. Or it could be a 4-on-3. So if we get a penalty, but we still have an extra man, guy, or woman. So we would have 4 people on the ice and they would have 3 killing. So that's the type of power plays. And we'll discuss more in practice. And we can improve power plays by selecting for a formation or a system. So we got to know what we're doing before we go on the power play. We got to talk. We got to make sure we understand our roles on the power play. Using skills necessary for each position. So just basically stick handling, that deception we talked about. Remember what deception is. It's like the fake pass and all that, fake looks and all that kind of stuff like that. Slot players in the right positions to increase scoring chances and shot opportunities. Develop and run practice drills, or run drills in practice regarding power play, which we'll work on a lot this year. Allow players to choose the right options. So we got to make sure when we work in practice, we're going to discuss like where we need to be if in a certain situation. We'll work on every aspect of the game. So you got to understand where you need to be on a certain position of the power play. And where depends on the puck is obviously and our positioning. And our goal is to draw attention. The puck carrier needs to have the attention, and then all of the penalty killers look, and we look for open players so we can get the puck to the net quick. And repeat specific situations. So we can't be, if we're failing on something, we can't be repeating it. We got to look to improve. And if we're doing something positively, we're going to continue with that, our success, to ensure more success. So keys to a successful, let me just get to the next slide here. Keys to a successful power play. So we have outwork the penalty killing unit. So most power plays let up a bit with effort, and we got to make sure we give all of our effort to disposition the PK like I just talked about. Give your team momentum, get scoring chances and shots, even be positive on the bench. Make that bench energized. Tap your sticks on the board. Say, woo, get energized, get excited. Look confident and be confident. Never show dejection or defeat. Do not look like we're going to lose. Even if we're down, you got to be confident we're going to score on the power play because that builds your confidence and team confidence overall, and it'll lead us to win games. Have 2 units with 2 looks. So the coaches and I will decide, who will be on the 2 units depending on who works hard and who's listening and all that kind of stuff, and who's moving the puck good. So to do this, we need to confuse other teams' PK units by having different setups for each power play unit. So we can't just have the same unit because they're going to know, and they're going to know what lanes to go in to prevent us from getting the puck to the net. So we need to use the different power plays that we're going to talk about here today and practice, which we will work on and then apply those to the games. And the coaches will communicate with you guys to what we're going to do. Win the draw. Face-offs are key on special teams. You need to win the face-off. If we do not win the face-off and we're not good at face-offs, we're not going to get a lot of scoring chances on that. And we're going to have a hard time, just going back, and we're going to waste time using the breakout. And, we're not going to get in the zone. And we could get a quick shot too. That's important from a faceoff win. So we need to win. We need to win a faceoff to ensure we get enough time to set up our power play and feel more confident. We got to give other players on your team an opportunity to go on the power play. So that will be mostly on the coaches that decide. But one power play cannot be out there for like the whole power play or 2 minutes. They can't be out there. When I say, come on, guys, let's go, switch, that means you guys come to the bench. And from this, it builds up confidence in players and it leads to success. So me and the coaches will discuss, and we're going to be flip-flopping around seeing what works the best. And we're going to give everyone an equal opportunity. Depends on how hard they work. So we have the single swing, and it's a breakout. So from this, D1 gets the puck behind the net. Then D2 swings in one corner and F1 swings in the other. As D1 goes up the ice, D2 or F2 and F3 move across the ice with both players looking go get open early. Options for D1, so they could pass to F1 with support from F2, pass to D2 with support from F3, pass to F2 or F3 early, and skate with the puck and rim it to the other side. So remember, it's like shoot around the boards. So let's just take a look. I'll show you how this works. So D1 gets the puck behind the net. So D1 is going to skate a little bit. When D2 swings, okay, so D1's going to have the option. So D1 can either pass to D2, okay, D2 right here, and support from F3. So F3 can go up here too and help D2 when it's skating up the ice. D1 can pass to F2 or F3, so make a quick pass, they go, give and go, or could make a long stretch pass to F3, so that way they don't waste more time, or D1 can pass to F1 and they go up. Okay, with support from F2. So we're always going to have a supporter there from the wing. So there's something called the Dallas cut. So this is where D1 stops behind the net with the puck. D2 swings in one corner, F1 and F2 swing in the other corner, and F1 is slightly ahead. F3 stretches, so that means looking for that stretch pass like they're up. So as we talked about, I'll show you in the diagram. They're up in like the last diagram. They're up to net and they're on their waiting for that long pass. And this could lead to a breakaway if D1 passes to F2 on an angle, in the inside angle, trying to split seam between the D. And it's so effective if D1 makes a fake pass to F1 wide and pass quickly to F2, giving F2 speed to go in with the puck. So we got to use that deception piece like we talked about. That's that deception piece. And D1 also could pass to F1, who's carrying the puck with support F2, pass to D2, who's getting support from F3, pass to F3 early, which they could get that early zone entry, or run the puck to F1 or F2. So I'm going to show you guys a diagram here. Okay, so let's just take a look at the options. So D1 gets that puck, right? Stops behind the net. So it's going to skate up a little bit. So as soon as D1's skating up, you're going to see D2 swing go up a little bit, F2's going up there, and F1's going up there. So we could look. So D1's going to skate up and stop here, look for a pass, whoever's open the most. That's the key. So D1 could pass to D2 if they're open. D2 goes in the zone with F3, F2, F1, and F1 stays back. D1 could pass to F2, who builds up speed back here and gets that puck and can go in. Or D1 can come up here and make that pass to F1, who's got probably most of the speed in this group, because he or she has generated more speed before F2. So we got to look who's got more speed and who's open to get the puck. Now, we don't want to go really too fast. Like, we want to have speed, but we don't want to be really too fast to rush it and, make mistakes. It's going to happen. We're going to make mistakes. But we want to make sure we are setting it up. That's the most important thing. We're looking at the proper structure of how to set up this. Okay, so we got Canuck center lane option. This is another breakout. So this is where D1 starts with the puck, F1 and D2 swing to opposite sides, F2 swings slightly higher on the same side as F1, and F2 looks to get the puck in the middle of the ice. Okay, so F2 is looking to get that puck right here in the middle of the ice. Okay, F2 carries the puck through the middle and uses F1 or D2 for support. F3 clears a lane for F2 by stretching across the far blue line. F2 enters the zone with possession, and from that, F2 lays the puck to outside once the defenders are drawn to him or her. So I'm going to show you guys this diagram. So like we said, D1 starts with the puck, same play. So D1's going to skate up with the puck and make that pass to F2, who's getting speed. F2's bringing in the puck, okay? F2 is going to bring the puck right here, going to make a drop pass to F1, it looks like, okay? Or D2, that's coming up. So F2 it's got to make sure the D's not there, their other D, or their forwards, because they're going to steal the puck and dump it on the ice. So F2 can make sure they come over here where D2 is going to be, lead that drop pass, or come over here where F1 is going to be, and make that drop pass. Then F3 clears a lane, okay? F3 is coming in, and making sure we have enough room, like we're pressuring them back so we can open up more space at the point so we can make that drop pass. And F2 enters the zone with possession, okay? And lays the puck like we just talked about. So we had the 5 back, which is the power play breakouts. All players come back to the puck. And once the last player is back, all 5 players start to advance up the ice together. So F2 and F3 take inside lanes, like we talked about. They're not going wide, they're going inside. F1 and D2 move up the ice along the boards. D1 has the option to, number 1, pass the inside players, which is F2 and F3, or pass to the outside players, which is F1 and D2. And from this, D1 tries to draw the PK, which is penalty kill in the middle, and dishes the puck to speed wide. And if D1 skates the puck to the center, he or she must continue into the zone or run the puck to either side. We're going to take a look at the diagrams here. Okay, so D1 carries that puck. Okay, so we take a look here. There's a bunch of options. So as we see, D1's going to make that pass to either F3 who's going to come up. Okay, D1 can make that pass to F1 who's getting up that speed, or D1 can make that pass over to D2 who has that speed, or D1 can pass to F2 who's going to right here and set up for a breakout pass, and we come in the zone. Okay, we just got to be careful with that. We're just focused on the breakouts right now. Okay, so as we take a look, D1, you have to draw, and D1's going to skate up the ice too to draw the defenders back, the PK. Okay, so we just got to make sure we're careful with that. So we have the drop passes, which is what we just talked about. Okay, so late forwards delays long enough to be an option once the D carries the puck up over the blue line. And D1 skates up the middle with F2 and D2 moving up outside. F3 stretches. F1 comes late from deep into the zone behind the play. When D1 crosses the blue line, he or she must drag the first penalty killer to one side and lay the puck to the area where F1 is skating into. And the PK will slow down and adjust to F1. So that's our goal. We want to adjust. We want to make sure that PK is not being as aggressive like they are. F1 has a lot of speed and should be able to weave his or her way into the zone. F2, F3, and D2 have to be careful not to go offside. So we do not want to go offside. Remember what offside means. The puck must go over the line first. Okay, if players are over the line first before the puck is, that's offside. The puck always has to go over the blue line first before we can enter the zone. We just got to be careful we don't put ourselves offside too. So as we take a look here, okay, so D1, okay, skating with the puck hard, drawing out those penalty killers to sit back a little bit, slowing them down with his or her speed. D1's going to make that pass to F1, who's got a bunch of speed, and they're going to make a play coming in. Okay, so F1 can either make a pass to F2, okay, coming in, but F1, like we said, generating that speed with the crisscross. getting that puck, and they're going to put that speed is going to push those PK to slow down a ton. So we got to be careful. And then we set up in the zone after. So we have the winger cross. So from this, D1 picks up the puck. F1 and F2 swing to opposite sides and builds up speed. F3 stretches. D2 supports D1. And D1 has the option to pass to F2 or F1 with speed on the outside. Pass to F2 enters the zone or redirects the puck to F1 or F2, skates with the puck, and rims it to F1 or F2. Okay? So as we take a look here, D1 picks up the puck, going to either make a pass to F1, who's coming in with a lot of speed. Okay. So they or can pass it to F3, who has a bunch of opening here. Okay. And F3 can make that pass to F1, who's coming in after, or F2 that's coming in. Or the D1 could just pass to D2 or F2 and just goes in the zone. Okay. So we have a bunch of options there. And we have up the gut. This is another power play breakout. So this is where D2 takes the puck off ice in a wide lane, hoping to draw a defender outside. And as D2 advances, D2 looks to pass inside to F1, who comes from behind the play and moves with speed through the middle of the ice. F2 and F3 stretch, which like we talked about, moves up the ice, looking for that stretch pass, getting more open, creating more space. And when the first penalty killer is drawn outside, the middle opens up for F1 to skate into, and the second option is to use F2 or F3 on the stretch. So as we take a look in this diagram, D2 picks up the puck, makes that wide lane, skates up with the puck, and looks to pass to either F1, who's got a bunch of speed, to F2, who's up here for that stretch play, or to F3, who's way over here. Okay. F2 is over here, so D1 or D2, excuse me, can make that pass to F1. That's what our goal is to look for, because F1 has a lot of speed coming in. Can make that pass. F1 comes in, sets up from there. D2 can make that pass to F2 if he or she is pressured, or if there's a lot of space, D2 could even pass to F3, who has a lot of space open, and that will create more space for us to come in the zone. That will confuse the penalty killers. And then we have reversing the puck. This is maintaining possession off the entry. So when under pressure, entering the offensive zone, F1 stops or delays and reverses the puck back up the boards where he or she came from. Successful against teams whose strong side four comes down low on the entry. So we have to come down low on the entry and make a play from there. Okay, because you're drawing attention to that spot, and that's going to back them up a bit, and it opens up spaces at the point, as we can see. And D1 must get up to the offensive blue line quickly to be ready for this play. So as we take a look. Okay, so F1 is bringing the puck, okay, acting like he or she's going to cut him, but they make that tight turn, make that pass up to D1 who's coming in here, and D1 has to be ready to make a play, can either shoot or make a pass, and we can set up. Okay, so like we say, F1's coming in, turning quick, making that pass to D1, and D1 makes the decision from there to make the play. And we have switching sides. So from this, F1 enters the zone where he or she sees all the four penalty killers are on one side of the ice. And he or she immediately passes across to F3. F1 has to thread the puck through traffic, and it may be only the option to immediately uncontested possession. So as we take a look, okay, F1's coming up. Okay, F1's going to see the penalty killers backing up. So F1 wants to make that pass or saucer, a thread pass to F3. Okay, and F3 will make a decision of here, maybe even pass F2, who's going to the net, and our D stay up. So F1 in this play is coming up, making a pass F3. F3 is going to skate it with the puck a little bit, stay up high, and looking for F2 who's going to the net. Or we can set up there. Now, we don't always have to pass F2. F2 is going to create that distraction in front of the net, and then we could set up there. We always have to have somebody screening the goalie. So recovering the dump in. So the key to this is to get all three forwards quickly to the puck. And once that puck is stopped and the forwards are in a battle for possession, all three forward will, or F1, F2, or F3 will rim or bank the puck back to the blue line as soon as they get it on their stick. The D should be ready at the corners of the blue line and expect a quick rim pass. And the penalty killing team will have 3 players in the corner for the battle, and it gives us more power play space to work with, and it gives us more time to set up because we have all those forwards going down, or all those penalty killers going down, excuse me. So let's take a look. So F1's going to come in. They're not going to turn. They're just going to keep skating with the puck, okay, making that pass off the boards without, they're going to keep going, but just bank it off the boards to D1. So D1's going to be ready to make a quick rim pass, okay? So it's either possession, okay? So either way, this is a bunch of options. So we have F1 who comes in. If they don't have space, they can dump it. They can make a bank pass off the boards here to D1, who will make a play there. D1 can rip it all the way around to D2, okay? Or F1 can bring the puck behind the net, make a pass to D2. D2 rims it off the boards, okay? And then F2 or F3 will get it. And guess what? We'll draw those penalty killers down. And then we have this space open. That net in front of the net's open. So that puck comes out, guess what? We're all alone. And if the puck comes up here, guess what? They're going to be quick, but we have enough time to shoot and get the puck to the net. We don't want to screw around with the puck, though. Okay, so we have the half boards player. And we have an overload power play. So I'm going to talk about different power plays. So in the overload power play, the half board players. So the key quarterback, that's the key quarterback of the setup, and the D1 playing secondary role. And the half-board players must slide up and down the boards, distribute the puck, and shoot from outside well under pressure. And he or she needs to be poised, calm, and quick with the puck, and recognizing where to move the puck. And the half-board players must be able to move with pressure, protect the puck, and make a play. Okay, so we don't want to be quick with the puck. We want to make sure, we want to make sure we are being calm. We have to be quick, but we can't be forcing a lot of things. We have to think quickly, and we got to be smart with the puck. Okay, so we have to move up and down the boards and distribute the puck and shoot from the outside while under pressure. Okay. Then we have the strong side point man. That's another key player in this overload setup. Okay, and along with the half-board player, he or she will have the puck mostly and be the one to settle the play down and set up. So the strong side point man will always set up this power play. It will be the key to set up the whole power play. So obviously everyone else has to get in their position, but once the strong side point man makes his or her play, that sets up the power play and gives time for us to make sure we set up, and it gives a signal we have to set up. Okay. And he or she keeps the feet on the blue line to create space between you or the PK. So we don't want to be close to the PK. And from all the space, it gives us time to make decisions. We can step into a shot, a hard shot, or create seams in behind. Okay? And the strong side point man needs to have shooting mentality and always be a threat to shoot the puck. So we can't just be farting around with the puck, okay? Screwing around with the puck. Just for a joke, okay? We just can't be screwing around with the puck, okay? We have to be smart with the puck, look for the good decisions, okay? If we have time to shoot and we have enough space to shoot the puck, we have to get the puck on the net. And we have to score and create. Strong side point man always tries to score and create chances on the power play with net traffic. So we always want to make sure we have someone in front of the net, okay? Because if the strong side point man shoots, the goalie's going to have a hard time seeing that puck. And if we put it perfectly on the net or in an open space where there's space in the net, we can get that puck in the net. And if it gets a rebound, somebody's there. We just got to make sure we don't hit the goalie, though, because that will not be called, and we can get called for goaltender interference. And when pressured, the strong side point man needs to move up to the half boards or make a quick low play. It's like we talked about. It could be a small little rim, okay, to either F2 or F3, whoever's down low in a specific situation. Okay. So we have the low walk player. So for this, the low walk player feet needs to be on the goal line and stay close in the net or to the net in order to attack quickly, screen the goalie, or get a rebound. And he or she must be a versatile and quick. Okay, we have to be quick and smart. Sometimes the low lock player will switch with the half-board players depending on the situation, and which forces the PK to adjust quickly and create passing options. Okay, it gives us more passing options by making that simple switch, and it confuses the PK to make a different PK setup for them. And before games, with coaches and players, we're going to find out how our team forces, and we have to ask these in our mind throughout the whole game too, especially with both players and coaches. Will they pressure quickly with the low D? Will they hold the front of the net? So we have to figure out, are they in a position, are they going to move up to the point quick when we take a quick shot, or are they going to be hard? Are they going to be hard battlers in front of the net, not even giving us enough room? We're going to from those decisions see what they're doing throughout the whole game. We're going to have to see which path we need to go, and we'll use other power play options we talk about. So we got to make sure. And the low block player must know this too. Okay. So we have the net man and the overload power play. And from this, his or her main job is to screen the goalie on all shots and then be ready to play the rebounds. And this requires courage to stand in front of the shots in the net and a lot of skill to deflect them. So we'll be working on deflecting pucks too throughout practice. And when the puck is moved low, the net player should slide out to the slow slot or backdoor to wait for a pass. And the screen is very important to make the opposing goaltender work to see the puck. So we need to be screening, the net man needs to be screening the goalie. Okay, make the goalie's job hard and tough. Always be in front of his or her face. You do not want them to see traffic and where the puck is. Okay, we always want to have somebody in front of the net screening, okay? Do not be afraid to block the shot, okay? Do not be afraid to get hit, excuse me. Always look the tip. Do not move outside the side. Always screen that goalie because guess what? Makes it difficult, and we're going to have a good chance of scoring and jamming for that puck and get a good rebound. It's going to be, trust me, I'm not a goalie, but every time I talk to a goalie, they say this is the hardest thing. It makes their life miserable. Okay, so we need to the net man needs to screen. Do not go anywhere else. Now, if the puck go down low, you may have to go down low and then someone else moves up in front of the net. It just depends. We'll work on it in practice, though. So we had the sliding backup D and the overload power play. So this provides a release to get the puck away from pressure. It supports the strong side D when he or she is under pressure. A threat to score from his or her outside vision of the PK. Moves up, or the sliding back D moves up and down far side of the ice, staying in line with position of the puck, goes down far to the goal line, and up to the high blue line, or up high to the blue line, excuse me. And if recovering a loose puck on the far side, set up half boards and then briefly work the setup there. So what this is saying is their main goal, the sliding back D is providing a release to get the puck away from pressure, okay? So if someone down low, if one of our forwards is getting pressured, guys, sliding back D has a more space so they can get the puck and then we can make more space to work with, okay? And then the sliding back D could take the shot too. This will be another threat that they will have trouble with because we're constantly moving and stuff like that. So if we had the backside D slide and shoot, and this is the zone option for the overload power play. So for this, the backside D moves the puck around to D2, who slides down backside and looks to shoot and score, shoot for a deflection, or pass across to F1 for a one-timer. And then makes a play back to F1, who is more difficult to play because of the skill required to shoot off the pass. And F1 should be wide and prepared to receive a pass or on top of the opposite circle. So F1 always needs to be open, okay? So if we take a look. So this is kind of confusing. This is F3, F2, F1. Okay, so this diagram's kind of backwards a little bit, but we're in the other zone. So D2, or the strong side D is D1, okay, in this position. So D1 is going to make that pass to D2, who slides down, okay, skates, makes that little, they can either take a shot for a rebound or make, or even just shooting the puck for a perfect place, or make that pass to F1 who's wide open, and F1 can make a play there. Okay. We just got to be careful though with the lanes. And F1 gets that scoring chance too. The strong side D shot. So this is in the zone option for the overload power play. So it moves back from F2 to F1. D1 slides across the blue line to take a slap shot or wrist the puck through the net. And F3 must be in a tight screen position. So we have to be screening the goalie. If we do not screen the goalie, we're not going to get chances to score. F2, F1, and D2 need to be ready for rebounds. Okay, so D2 may have to step up. D1 must fake shot against teams that block and look to get the puck by screen. So what this means is D1 has to take fake shots who just looks the block. Because if we fake, guess what? It's going to get them out of position with more room to go into. And D1 must have deception along with a good shot. Okay, so in this position. So, okay, D1 has the puck. Okay. So in this play is the strong side D on the side. So D1 moves the puck side to side. Okay. We'll look. Excuse me. So F2. Okay, F2 has the puck. Okay. Now, this is our strong side D, but F2 is going to make that pass to F1, who's going to pass that puck to D1. D1's going to, who's the strong side D, is going to come over. Okay, so D2 or D1's going to make that slap shot or wrist shot through the net while F3 screening a goalie, which is making their life miserable, the goalie. So if there's a rebound, D2, either way, once that puck is shot, D2 needs to move down and F2 needs to come in. Okay, look for that rebound right here. F1 needs to come down and play the puck too. Okay, so F3 is going to be there too, but we got to have people crashing the net, and then that forces a face-off and we can set up. Now we want to score, but at least we're forcing the face-off so we can set up more time and space. Okay, so we have the half-board shot. So for this, F2 moves the puck up to F1, who passes to D1. And D1 walks across the line, drawing a penalty killer to him or her. And D1 fakes the shot and passes back to F1. F1 should follow D1 up half board, staying wide. And when F1 receives the pass, he or she moves off the boards and shoots. F3 screens while F2 and D2 converge for rebounds. So we take a look here. So F2 moves the puck up to F1, makes that pass. F1's going to make that pass to D1. D1 is making those crisscross and make that pass back to F1, who's coming in and drawing that penalty killer up to them, and F1's going to be open. Okay, and then F1 is going to, D1's going to crisscross, act like he or she's taking a shot, make that pass to F1. Okay, and once that pass is received, F1 is going to move off the board and shoot. So F1's going to shoot coming in. And F3 screening, okay, over here, while F2, which is right here, and D2 come in for the rebound, and then F1 and D1 will be up here, okay? So we have F2, F3, and D2 who's going to be jamming for the puck. Okay, and then we have below zone option for the overload power play. Okay, so F2 passes to F1, who passes to D1. D1 fakes a shot and passes back to F1, who rolls off the half board, fakes a shot and passes to F2. F2 has the option of taking the puck to the net and shooting, or take the net to the puck and pass to F3 on the backside or to F3 in the slot. F3 needs to be on the back door or the slot depending on where the opponent's play. F3 goes so the opponent never knows where he or she is going, so we're just trying to confuse them. Make that distraction somewhere else. D2 moves opposite to F3, moves to the slot or the backside, and F2 has the option on this play to take the puck behind the net and pass out to F3 or back to F1 or D2. So if we take a look in this scenario, okay. So let's take a look. Okay, so F2 passes, okay, F2 has the puck, passes to F1, and then once that pass is made, F2 is going to come behind the net here. So F1 is going to take that pass make that pass to D1. D1's going to come over, fake that shot, give to F2, and then F2, okay, is going to come back, and then F1's going to make that pass to F2. Now F2 is going to skate up, D2 is going to move up. Okay, D2 can either get that one timer in right here, or F2 could come up, make that shoot right here, just bring in the puck, boom, or F2 can come in, make that pass to F3 and home, and we're in. Okay, so we'll work on it in practice. We'll work on it in practice a lot. Okay, so I mean, it's something really important to know. All this, obviously, all this information is important. So we have now. So we have the half boards interchange, okay? So it's very important to add interchange so the PK's job becomes more difficult, because if we're moving all the time and we're constantly moving our feet, our opponents are gonna be really confused. So when F1 passes to F2 and no results, they should get back in a habit of switching positions. Okay, so if they're just passing basically, it's not gonna cause, so we have to rotate. We have to use our feet and rotate. F1 passes to F2 and drives the net, looking to get the puck back. And if there's no play, F2 cycles up on the boards and starts to look for new options, and F1 replaces F2 low. Okay, let's take a look. So, F1, okay, F1 is going to make that pass to F2. And after he or she makes that pass, F1 is going to come down here. It's like a cycle. Okay, F2. Okay, F2 is going to come up with the puck. Okay, and F2 is going to drive the net with the puck. All right, F2 is going to make that puck come back. Okay, now we're trying to get that puck back. Okay, so F1 may have to come up. Okay, so F2 is going to use the cycle kind of. Okay, so F2 could either come up, play back to F1. Okay, F1 can regain the puck. And F2 is going to net at the same time. Or F2, can make a pass to D. It just depends. And there's no play. F2's got a cycle, okay? And then F1 will come back in. So usually we want to pass it up in D here. But usually in this play, we want F1 to make that quick pass, act like he or she's going to net. F2 is going to come up with the boards and then use that back pass, and then F1's going to come up, and then F2 drives the net, okay? It will be a process, but we'll learn it. And when we do it in practice, it's going to be more simple. And then we have the sliding D interchange. So this is really more complicated because, obviously it adds a lot of confusion to the penalty killer's alignment. And this is really complicated because, we have a smart penalty killing team. This is not going to work too well. And it requires a lot of skill too. So after D1 slides along the blue line, passes back to F1, D1 wants to move to the net. And when D1 goes to the net, F3 slides out to the side, and D2 moves up to the top on the blue line. And F1 makes a quick play and may use any of the previous options. And D1 holds a strong position at the net. It remains there until a goal is scored or the puck is cleared. So if we take a look at the diagram, okay. So after D1 slides, okay, D1's going to, again, make that fake pass or make that fake shot, okay, going to make that pass to F1. D1's going to come down in front of the net. F1's going to take that puck, okay, make that pass to F3 who's coming in, and F3 is going to make a play to there, slide out to the side, okay? Or, and D2 will slide up here while D1 goes to the net, or F1 can make that pass, make it F2, and then F2 can make a boom, boom. It just depends, okay? So either option, D1's going to have the puck, make that fake shot, go over to F1, okay? F1's going to carry the puck, either pass it to F3, okay, or F2, and then after that, D makes that pass up here. D1's going to go in front of the net. D2 is going to cover the spot up here, okay? So we got to be really careful and make quick plays, okay? And we got to be smart in our decisions. Okay, so we have the right and left side half board players. This is the 1-3-1 power play. So we have to set up with the right shot on the left boards and left shot on the right boards, okay? Because if we have that, we get that one timer in, okay? And these two players are known as the quarterbacks, okay? And because what this means is they're protecting the puck from going out of the zone. And both has to be a threat to shoot or fake the shot and pass, okay? And must be calm under pressure. They have to work up the puck to the high D, which is what you do at the point, and you don't force plays through the box. So like we talked about, we'll talk about when we get penalty killing, but the box, okay, I'll show you. They have like a box, so like they'll start like where the penalty killing area. I'll show you here in a minute. And from that box, it often open up a recovering a rebound. Okay, and the box is usually in the inside zone. I wanted to mention that. It's like, how we're working with, where the circles are, those the hash, like the high slot and stuff, those little lines there in the middle, the high slot there in the slot. That's where they'll be working with. So the mid-ice point man on a 1-3-1. So the D must keep feet on the blue line to allow more room to make a player step into the shot. And the mid-ice point man also must slide along with deception, like we talked about, while looking to find an open lane to the net, and quickly work the puck from left to right if shot isn't there. So you have to play the puck quick. And you have to look to shoot the puck again, because that point man's going to take that big blast on the point, and that generates momentum and a powerful shot. Okay, and then we have the slot player on the 1-3-1. So from this, the D slides in, or a forward who plays defense and then moves into the slot area. And this D must move into this position once the puck is under control. And the player must be ready for a quick release shot and the other side in a shot pass. From the other side, a shot pass. So a shot pass is where where the outside player shoots to the stick of the slot player for a redirect on the net. So it's like this. Instead of just, you're gonna take a shot and look for that stick at the same time. Okay, you're gonna look for the stick while your shot's trying to hit that stick. Now we want to hit the blade part of the stick. We don't want to hit anywhere else, because they'll deflect. So we got to put in a perfect position. We'll practice this, and the player that's screening from the screening player, the net presence player, will deflect that puck. Okay, and the slot player must move around in space to distract the penalty killers. So the slot player, the slot player must move. They can't just stay still, okay? They have to move side to side, get them moving and out of position. And the player must be ready to support both half-court players when they're in trouble. So, example, if a half-court player is tied up with somebody, that slot player must come in and help. And then we have the net man. It plays the net area unless support is needed to settle the puck out. And this may release the strong side for a low pass. And from this, it's a potential to make a quick inside play. And the net man has to be ready, whether high players are shooting or whether they need a low option. So if the puck goes down low, they may have to go down and get the puck. And the net man must stay active and get in the shooting lanes at the right time. Okay? So what this means is we do not want to block our shots. No, we want to make sure we're on the shooting lanes that the goalie is going to be looking at, and ensuring that, that the puck comes, the goalie can't see the puck, and that once that puck comes in, we're jamming for it or we deflect. Now, if we miss the deflection and it goes wide, we have to reset up that play. If the puck goes in net, the goalie holds it, jams till the whistle goes. Okay? We got to respect the goalie too. So we have the point shot on the zone for the zone option. So F1 passes to D1. Okay. D1 passes to F2, who passes back to D1 for a shot. And this may be a one-timer. It just depends on what the D is. So it could be it's a right or left stick. It just depends. And all players should fake a shot before passing. So come and fake the shot, make the pass. Okay. F3 keeps a tight screen, and D2, F1, and F2 converge on the rebound. So let's take a look. So F1 has the puck. Okay, F1's going to make that pass to D1. So D1, okay, passes to F2. Over here, going to move a little bit. Who passes back to D1, okay, for a shot. And it could be a one-timer. So look, F1 comes in. Okay, F1 passes D1. D1 makes that quick pass, scoots over a little bit. Okay, so F2 could move down low, make that quick pass back. D1 makes a one-timer, or when F2 comes, can pass back to D1 and then make that shot. And then F3, who's right here, that's our net man. So F3 must take stay here and screen the goalie. And D2, F1 and F2 will converge on a rebound, F1 will come down, F3 will be here, and D2 will come down, and this F2 will come down here. Okay, so F3 doesn't want to move, stay in front of the net, and then these are rebound people right here, these F1, FD2, and F2. Okay, so we have the half board shot. So F1 passes the D1, and D1 passes the F2, who has the option of shooting or passing the F1, and it's the crossed ice seam will be available. So like I say, that open space. And this is a more difficult option to execute because it requires high level skill to thread the pass across the ice in one time the puck. So we'll work on it. It may not work all the time, but we'll work on it. It's a good deception from F2 to create an open lane to F1. F3 keeps a tight screen, and D2, F1, and F2 converge on the rebound. So let's take a look here. So as we take a look, F1 comes in, makes that pass, will turn. D1's going to have the puck who passes back to F2, and F2 is going to look for F1. So F2 could either sauce back to F1, so we're going to have to look for that open lane. We're going to have to create that space, move the puck. So F2 is going to have to move, and we're all going to have to move too to make these penalty killers move. Before we go further, I want to show you, we'll talk about it in the PK unit, but this is what the box is. So there's one player here, one player here, one player here, one player here. Or one player might be here, the defenseman because of the strong side, or one down over here. Just depends. Okay, F3 is keeping that screen, and F2 is trying to create that open lane like we say, and F1 is going to take that shot and come down for a rebound if there's one, or shoot out that far pad. F2 is going to come in, and D2 is going to be here. So F1, D2, F2 are going to come down, jam for the puck with F3. So F3 will screen the goalie while the shot happens. So we have the inside play. So F1 passes the D1, who passes F2. F2 fakes the shot and passes inside to D2 for a one-time or redirect play. And this play can be made from either side of the boards, excuse me. D2 must be ready for a pass at all times. F3 keeps a tight screen. F1 and F2 converge on the rebound. And depending on what the shot, D2 is either a righty or lefty. This may be an opportunity for a quick release shot or a shot pass deflection. So let's take a look. So F1 passes D1, who passes the D1 who passes the F2. F2 is going to look for fakes passes. Okay, fake passes back to D1, but as actually make an actual pass to D2, and D2 will make that one timer. And D2 must be ready, must be open at all times for that one timer. So F3 is going to make that screen still. F1 and F2 after that pass will come down for the rebound. Okay. And then we have the low release play. So from this, F1 passes to D1, D1 passes to F2, F3 releases from the net, F2 passes to F3, F3 makes an inside play to D2 or backside play to F1, and F3 also could take the puck to the net. It's really tough to defend against. Okay, so take a look. Okay, F1 has the puck, so F1's going to pass to D1, okay, and then F1, okay, will go here. F1 will stay here. Okay, F1's going to make that pass to D1. D1 will make that pass to F2. F2 will make that pass to F3. F3 is going to make an inside play. Will either pass back to D2, who will be here for a one-time shot maybe, or a quick shot, or to F1. So once F3 gets the puck, D2 has to move up here, and F1 has to move up here because I'll provide an option to pass to, and then either one will take a shot, okay? And this is very tough to defend against because we're moving the puck so quickly and we're using angles and all that kind of stuff. And the PK is going to have a hard time covering us. And then we have the two blue line defensemen. So we're on a new power play. This is a split power play. So the 2D on the blue line need to keep their feet on the line to generate more space between them and the PK. And once the puck is moved up top, it needs to be quickly relayed from D to T to spread out the PK. And we have to work this to the defenseman must work the puck from left to right while looking to shoot. And the D may slide along the line with deception to find an open lane to the net. And if there's not much time or space, wrist shots to the net are also good. But we want to look for those hard wrist. We want to make sure our shot is very hard too. So we have the right and left side half-board players. Okay, so players set up and operate in a similar way to the 1-3-1 power play. So the left shot is on the right boards, the right shot is on the left boards. And both players should be a threat to shoot or fake the shot and pass. But we have to stay calm under pressure. Like, we can't be so nervous because guess what? They'll cause turnovers and we're not going to set up successfully. And we're not going to move the puck at all. So we have to stay calm. Be quick, but stay calm. And the number one option is to work the puck up to the high Ds, especially when being pressured down low. So we have to make sure we're using our D. We can't just let them dry. And obviously the D's job is to get back and get the puck on the dump when the puck is dumped back down the zone, and make sure there's no stretch pass play when someone's coming out to the penalty box, or penalty killer's going up there for stretch play. But we have to use our D too because they're the extra two people on our team, and we can use them for heavy shots. And we can make plays from there. And we can't force plays through the box because guess what? If we make plays through the box, it causes turnovers. And, that box like we talked about when I was saying with penalty killers, because they can block the shot with their stick. They're going to look to do that. They can recover it with their stick. They'll dump it down the ice. We have less power play time. We can have to play through the box. Like we could sometimes, well, it depends if it opens. So if we play if we shoot through the box, we have to look for open lanes through the sticks and obviously, your feet and all that kind of stuff. And by this, using these plays is going to open up the penalty killers, and guess what? We're going to have more space to work with. So we have the net man, okay? So the net man should stay at the nest unless supporters need to settle the puck down low. It may go down low for a low pass. So the net man always needs to be moving in front of the net screen. That goalie making their life miserable. The goalie's life miserable. Then if the puck goes down low, obviously the net man will go there and get the puck. And we need to stay active. So the net man needs to stay active, getting in shooting lanes at the right time. So like I said again previously, we don't want to block shots. We want to look for that deflection. And we want to make sure the goalie can't see that puck coming in. And the net man also has to support the half-board players when they're in trouble and under pressure. And the net man needs to settle the puck when pressure down low, okay? So obviously we have to be quick, but we have to settle that puck and make a quick play, or we lay the puck behind the net to the opposite half-board players. Okay, and with this, the D to D point shoot. So F1 passes the D1 who passes the D2. D2 slides down a step for the shot, and this may be a one-timer depending on what the D is. So like we talked about, the righty or the lefty. F3 keeps a tight screen on the goalie, which is the net man. F1 and F2 converge on the rebound. If the shot is low, the goalie will have trouble seeing the rebound from going from one side of the players, okay? So F1's going to pass the D1, who's going to make a pass to D2. D2 is going to skate down a little bit, okay? We'll shoot. Okay, it just depends. Could pass the F2 too, but obviously in this point, D2's looking to come down with a quick shot down low. Keep that shot low. So look for that pad. F2 can converge on it, or F3 is just gonna screen. Okay, make sure you're screening the goalie, making sure the goalie can't see. Or D2 can look for that far pad, and then F1 comes in and jams home the rebound. And we'll work on this in practice too. Then we have the D to D and back. So F1 passes D1 who passes D2. D2 slides down a step for a fake shot. And D2 passes back to D1 to mid-ice for a shot. And this may be a one-timer depending on what the D is. And then F3 keeps a tight screen. F1 and F2 converge on the rebound. Okay, so I'll show you here. What's going on. So F1 can make pass that D1. D1's going to make that pass to D2. So D2 is going to come down a little bit. D2 is going to skate up to right here. And then D2 is going to make that pass back to D1, who's going to take that one-timer to the net. So F3 will be here for the screen during the one-timer. F2 will come down for that rebound jam here. And F1 will be looking for the rebound over here. Okay, and then we have the D to D cross seam pass. So F1 passes D1 who passes to D2. D2 slides down for a step for a fake shot. D2 passes to F1 for a quick one-timer. or a quick release shot. F3 keeps a tight screen, which is not man, and F2 converge on the rebound. So in this play, F1 passes D1, pass back to D2. So D2 is going to skate down a little bit with the puck, make that pass to F1, who's going to look for that one-timer. Okay, because F1's got that one-timer, F2 is just going to be coming down for that rebound. F3 will be in front of the net, and once that puck's to the net, F3 can jam as well. Okay, and then we have the double seam pass. So F1 passes the D1, who passes the D2. D2 slides down a step for a fake shot, and then D2 passes F1, who fakes the shot and passes cross ice to F2 for a one-timer or a quick shot release shot. F3 keeps a tight screen, and F1 converges on the rebound. So, sorry these are backwards, but we'll have to look. So F1, right? F1's going to look right here. Okay, F1's going to pass D1. D1's going to pass to D2. D2 is going to come down, make that fake shot, and then pass back to F1. And then F1's going to fake the shot and pass back to F2, and then F2 is going to take that one-timer. F3 is going to screen during when this happens, the goalie, and F1's going to come down for the rebound. Then we have the low release play. So F1 passes D1, who passes to D2. D2 slides down a step and passes back to D1 in mid-ice. D1 fakes a shot and passes to F1. F1 fakes a shot and passes low to F3 at the side of the net. And F3 takes the puck to the net or passes F2 on the back door. So let's take a look. So F1 passes to D1. Okay, and then D1's going to make a quick pass to D2. D2 is going to come skating down while D2 or D1's coming up. Okay, D2 is going to make a pass to D1. We'll take the fake shot. We'll pass back to F1. Then F1 will take the fake pass, or we'll make a fake shot past F3. And F3 will skate up a little bit past F2, and then F2 will make a one-timer, okay, for backdoor play and a one-timer. And then we have the goal line 2-3, which is a 5-on-3 power play. So a 5-on-3 is obviously when we have a two-man advantage, you know. So so as we look here, we have two options, okay? Well, we have four, excuse me. So F1 should be on a right shot, and F2 should be a left shot. So options with D1 and D2 being left shots, okay? So first one, D1 to D2 to F2 and quick low pass across F1. So D1 make a pass to D2, who will make a pass to F2, and then F2 will make a low pass to F1. F1 will one-time that in. Okay, the second option, D1 to D2 to F2 and pass to F3 and slot. So D1 make a pass here, then pass to F2, and then back to F3, who's in the slot, one-time it. Okay, and F1's there for a rebound. Okay, number 3. F1 to D1 to D2 for a one-timer shot. So F1 to D1, and then over to D2, and then takes the one-timer, while F3 is screening, F2 is here for the rebound. Okay, and then the last option. So F1 can pass directly to D2 for a one-timer. So F1 has the puck, skating up a little bit, pass to D2, takes a one-timer. Okay? If that doesn't make sense, let's go over this. Okay, just make sure you understand this before you move on. And then we have the motion 2-3, okay, which is the 5-on-3 power play. And this motion creates confusion for the penalty killers. And the PK gets good at staying in lanes that some movement might be needed. So they're going to get used to this. They're going to get used to using those sticks. They're going to get used to blocking shots. But their movement, guess what, can make a big difference to open up more space for us. And D1 and D2 both left shots, okay? So F1, the first option is F1 to D1 to D2, and after faking the shot, D2 slides a flat pass cross ice. D2 moves behind okay, that should say D1, excuse me. D2 moves behind D1. Okay, D2 can shoot, pass down to F1 or F2 for a quick shot, or pass back to D1 for a one-timer. And the second option is F1 to D1 and back to F1. D1 skates to the front of the net, D2 slides across, and F2 moves up high, and F1 can pass to D2 or F2 for a one-timer to F3 on the backside or to D1 sliding it. So as we let's take a look at this. So here's the two options, okay? So we have, okay, the first option, like we just talked about. So F1's going to make that pass to D1, who's going to make that pass to D2. So after faking a shot, D2 is going to come on, okay, fake that shot, pass back to F1, okay? Now, during this, D2, D1's going to slide behind D2, okay? And D1, okay, D1 will be here, okay? So once this pass is made, D2 can shoot, okay? So D2 will skate, make that pass to F1, okay? F1 can shoot, it just depends. Or D2 can make that pass to D1 who's coming in, and then D1 can take that quick shot. Or D2 could come in, pass to F2, and then put it home, while F3 is screening. In this play, F1 passes back to D1, skates up, passes back, F1, okay, can pass back to, F1's going to pass to D1, okay. D2 can come in, take a shot, okay. Or F2 can come up a little wide, okay. I need to pass D1. Or usually in this play, F1 comes up to D1, then pass back to F1. F1's going to skate, okay, then pass up to D2. Or F1 can pass to F2, and then F2 could take a quick shot for the screen, or pass to D1 who's going to the net, or F1 could pass up to the D1 who could take a one-timer. Okay. And then we had the umbrella. And so D1 is a right shot, D2 is a left shot, F1 is a right shot, and both low players, F2 and F3, slide in and out as a screen and low pass option. These options include, and there's 4 options. So we have F1 to D1 to D2 for a one-timer, F1 to D1 to D2 and back to F1 for a one-timer, F1 to D1 to D2 and back to D1 for a one-timer, or F1 to D1 to D2 and then low to F2, who could pass to F3 or back to D1 for a quick shot or one-timer. So as we take a look on power plays, okay, so here's our 4 options. I know it's kind of confusing, but we'll get through this and we'll work on this in practice a lot. So F1's going to make that quick pass to D1, then D1 will make that pass to D2, takes that quick one-timer. Okay, second option. F1 can make the pass to D1, who makes the pass back to D2, and then D2 can make a pass to F1, who could take that one-timer. F2 and F3 in both scenarios are here for the rebound, and one of them screening the goalie. Okay, so in this scenario, okay, F1's going to pass to D1, who passes back to D2, and then D2 will pass back to D1, who will take a one-timer. F2 and F3 are in front of the net and looking for a rebound. F1 will pass to D1, who pass back to D2. D2 will pass back to F2. F2 will skate in, either pass back to F3 in, or will pass back to D1 and then shoot. So there's a bunch of plays here we can use. And then we have the box, which is 4-on-3 power play. So we need to ensure one of the low players is in a screen position when D1 or D2 shoots. Both forwards and both Ds should be opposite shots. D1 passes the D2 who passes to F1. F1 passes across to F2 for a quick shot, which is play number 1. Or D1 and D2 can also pass the puck back and forth looking for a one-timer, which is number 2. And from this, the PKs will overplay one-timer shots up top and leave a quick 2-on-1 low for the forwards. So it'll make them move, and then guess what? We have a 2-on-1 coming in a little bit. We have to be quick, though. We can't take our time. Okay, so we take a look at the screen here. This is play number 1. Okay, so D1's going to pass to D2. Okay, and then D2 is going to pass to F1. F1 can pass to F2, takes a one-timer. Okay, and well, F3 in the scenario is in the penalty box. Okay, now we have D1 will pass back, or D2 will pass up to D1. D1 will make that pass back to D2, and D2 will make the shot in both scenarios. We have F1 and F2 in front of the net looking for that rebound. And we have another umbrella play. Okay. And for that other umbrella we talked about was on the 5-on-3. Now we're talking about the 4-on-3. So the umbrella in this is D1 is a left shot, D2 is a right shot, and F1 is a right shot. F2 screens in the front, And obviously we know by now F3's in the penalty box. And they may move gradually around the slightly. They may move around slightly, which means generally stay in a high triangle setup. Okay, so this is where the penalty killers are. So they're going to be in a triangle setup. Now we want to be in a triangle setup too, so they're going to be in a triangle setup. So we're going to have some more space to work with, especially on a 5-on-3, but in this case we're in a 4-on-3. The options we have, so F1 to D1 to D2 for a one-timer, which is number 1. F1 to D2 to D1, excuse me, to D2 and back to F1 for a one-timer, which is play number 2. F1 to D1 to D2 and back to D1 for a one-timer, which is play number 3. Or F1 to D1 to D2 and then low to F2, who could pass to D1 or across to F1, which is play number 4. So if we go here, so we have play number 1. Okay, F1 passes D1. Okay, D1's going to pass to D2. So we want that triangle. That's what they're talking about right here. See how it's kind of a triangle? So F1's going to pass to D1, D1's going to pass to D2, and D2 is going to take that one-timer while F2 is screening the goalie and looking for the rebound. Okay, F1's going to pass to D1, D1's going to pass to D2, D2 is going to make that pass back to F1, who's going to take a one-timer, F1's going to take the one-timer, and F2 is screening the goalie and looking for the rebound or deflection, same as play number 1. Okay, F1's going to pass to D1. Okay, pass back to D2, pass back to okay, who passed back to D1, who takes a one-timer, so D2 can move down a little low, pass right here. Okay, one-timer, or D2 can make, once that puck is coming, can make that quick pass back for D2 to take a one-timer, and F2 is in front of the net screening, looking for a rebound or a deflection. Okay, then F1 is gonna pass to D1. Okay, and D1's, this is kind of, and then back over to D2. Okay, then D2, when that puck is coming to D2, F2 needs to come out. Okay, and once F1 passes D1, F1 needs to come over here a little more to generate more space for a passing lane. Yeah, F2 is going to make that pass to D1, and D1 can make that one-timer, or D1 can go back across for F1 and make that quick shot. All right, so here's the videos. I know that was a long PowerPoint, but here's the videos. Make sure you watch them. Okay, they're very extremely important to watch. They'll explain a little more, so that makes more sense. Just more, from a different view. Plus, you don't have to listen to me talk that much. But I know this is a long PowerPoint. Don't get frustrated or anything, guys. Okay, we're gonna learn this together. Okay, it's gonna be easy once we learn it and apply it. Okay, this is just a lot of information coming your way, and I don't expect you to remember every single detail. As long as we have some general information about it and we'll teach it, you guys will be fine. Okay, great work, guys. And again, if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Okay, get hold of me through email, phone, whatever you need to do. Okay, I want to make sure this information makes sense to you, and then you're understanding it. Because you guys will be tested on this, and we have to use this we'll be using these power plays in the game. Okay, great work, guys, and I will see you next class. Take care. Great work today, guys, and keep up the hard work.